What's going on YouTube? My name is Stephon. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Logicc. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smash the notification bell so do not miss any more posts to me. Now just so you guys know, welcome to Vlogmas, where this is where Christmas from me meets you. What's going on YouTube? My name is Stephon. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Logicc. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smash the notification bell so do not miss any of my posts to me. Let's get straight into this video. Alrighty guys, I have a commentary video for you guys today. I will be talking about how basically the explanation of the LGBT and all of the letters basically. So the first four things I will be referring to is your sex, your sexuality, your gender, and gender expression. Now before I get into that, I will make a disclaimer just about this. I don't know how long this video is going to be, so just be prepared. Even though it may be a long video, this video I will say is necessary. Alright, so what is your sex? Your sex is basically what is your anatomy, what are the physical body parts that's in between your legs or associated with your body. That's basically that is what I'm referring to when I say sex. What is your sexuality? Your sexuality is, think of it as your heart. What are you attracted to? What is your sexual preference? What attracts you? What turns you on? And then you have your gender. Your gender, think of it as how do you identify, how do you perceive yourself? Then you have your gender expression. Now with gender expression is how do you present yourself? How do you go through everyday life, and how do you present yourself to others? That's basically what that means. Now I'm going to give some examples so you guys get more of an idea of what I'm talking about and what I mean when I say certain things. Now just so you guys know before I get into it, there's a lot more to learn, but it's basic level. But I will be giving you guys a lot of information. Now when I say sex, what is your sex? Your sex is either male or female. Now, however, like I said, it's basic level, so I know with scientists and researchers, they're finding out more things, but just basic level. So, male and female. You have your male anatomy, you have your female anatomy. You have, like even in the animal kingdom, where you have male dogs, male giraffes, female giraffes, male lions, female lions. That's basically is referring to what's in between your legs. What is the main thing that you're going to be using when you're having intercourse, basically. So that may be a penis, or that may be a vagina. That is what sex is referring to. Now, when it comes down to sexuality, think of it as your heart. So, what are you attracted to? So this refers to heterosexuality, or also known as straight people. You have homosexuality, which is also known as gay individuals. You have bisexuality, you have pansexuality, sapiosexuals, all of those things. Now, that's basically what sexuality is. Gender. Now, your gender is, think of it as how you identify. So this may also go to man and woman. So what people always have this question of, what is the difference between male and female versus man and women? Male and female has to do with your sex, which is in between your legs, your sexual anatomy. That is what male and female, when people hold these conversations, are referring to. Now, man and woman are social constructs. How do you present yourself? How do you walk around life every single day, basically? So, how do you identify it? I think the issue comes into play is because a lot of people think that male and female and man and women are just this thing where a female is a woman, is because people always make the assumption that everybody in this world are cisgendered. And you may not have heard this word before. What is cisgender? Cisgender means you identify with the gender that you have been assigned to at birth. So, little shortcut is that basically if you're not transgender, you are cisgender. Cisgender has to do with identity. How do you identify? This has nothing to do with what you're attracted to. This has nothing to do with sexuality. Cisgendered, and then you also have transgender. A little shortcut, if you're not transgendered, then you are automatically cisgender. The next thing you have is gender expression. Gender expression, excuse me, is masculine energy, feminine energy, or androgynous. Think of it as a scale or a spectrum, like just about everything in this world for the most part is. You have masculine energy and all. Now when I say energy, this comes with characteristics, responsibilities, duties and stuff like that. And then you have feminine energy, which is responsibilities, characteristics, mannerisms, and all of those things on this end. And in between you have androgynous. That is when you have the mixture of both masculine and feminine energies. So this can be characteristics, this can be duties, this can be mannerisms, the way that you may respond to certain things. That is what that is referring to. The way you may dress, quote unquote. So that is what the gender expression is. One last thing before I move on. When it comes into gender, as in the way you identify, this also, when it's referring to man and women, this also goes into the idea of gender roles. That's the reason why, quote unquote, gender roles exist, because it makes it more practical for male to act like, quote unquote, men, and female to, quote unquote, act like women. That's the reason why it's a social construct. Now let's get into the positions. Now when I say positions, what I'm referring to, I'm talking about sexual positions and stuff like that. I'm not going to get too graphic. I'm trying to keep it PG-13. You have top, you have bottom, you have burst. These are the 3 points. Top, bottom, burst. You have top. What is the top? Now when I talk about these positions in particular, I am referring to gay men. Gay women, I'm not too sure on, but I'm referring to gay men. What is the top? The top is someone that is giving. I don't want to say too much. They're doing the penetrating. What is a bottom? A bottom is someone that is receiving, someone that is being penetrated. What is verse? Verse is someone that can either top or bottom. That's basically what verse is. It's in between. Why is it verse? Why is it top? Why is it bottom? Because the thing is about tops or whatever is that they only top. They will never bottom, ever. That's not what they're into. And then you have bottoms, is that they will only bottom. They will never ever quote unquote ever do it. They will never top. Some people just not into it. That's not what they're into. That's the reason. Well, that's what makes verse so unique. Now you also have things like verse top, verse bottom. I'm going to explain all that. And you also have oral top, oral bottom. A little tip to help you guys understand what those terminologies mean, because you're going to be like, okay, I understand what the top is, I understand what the bottom is, I understand what the verse is, but what is a verse top, verse bottom, oral top, oral bottom? What is that? Think of it like this, is that think of the last word as the person's position. So you may have an oral top, or you may have oral bottom, or etc. Think of the last word as their position. That's what they're into. But however, think of the word before that as in something that they're willing to do. So when you have verse top, this is someone that their position is a top, but however, they will bottom for the partner. But with verse tops, they have no problem bottoming for the partner or bottoming for certain people, but their position will mostly be top, and vice versa for verse bottom. Now what is oral top or bottom? Is that oral top is someone that position is mostly a top, but however, they have no problem giving oral sex. That's basically what that means. Oral top. So their position is their top, but however, they have no problem giving oral sex, because we're strictly tops. They may not be into giving fellatio. They may not be into giving head. That may not be their thing. What is an oral bottom? Oral bottom is someone that is position, once again, is mostly a bottom, but however, they have no problem receiving head. Now let's actually get into the letters and stuff like that. You have lesbians and then you have gay men. Now this is the L, lesbians. Now with lesbians, this is referring to gay women. Now gay women, you have different, once again, basic level, you have 2 different types. You have butch, and then you have the feminine gay woman. which also known as, I believe the feminine gay woman's other term is lipstick lesbian or whatever. You have the butch, which is more of the masculine, who's more of, they may present themselves more masculine like. You have more of the masculine energy. They may dress like quote unquote a man. They may act like quote unquote a man and stuff like that. Yeah, so they may present themselves more masculine like, they may act more masculine, yada yada yada. And then with feminine, they may present themselves more in a feminine way, act more feminine, be more into makeup, be more into hair, nails, and stuff like that. Also, with sexuality, once again, sexuality is your heart, what you're attracted to. You have androphilia and you have genophilia. Now, what is androphilia and what is genophilia? Androphilia is when you are attracted to the masculine energy with people. And then you have genophilia, which is when you are attracted to the feminine energy of people. Doesn't matter who the individual is. So basically this goes into the idea of how people may act themselves. Men are attracted to women, trans women who still have their male anatomy and still consider themselves straight. Is because of genophilia, which is they're attracted to the femininity of the individual. For me, androphilia, which is being attracted to masculine energy, because I prefer my dudes to be masculine. What makes androphilia up to a certain point is because I don't care how masculine individual is, you have to be a man or a male. Because I don't care how masculine a woman is, I'm not going to be attracted to the woman. But for some people, androphilia plays such a big part is because no matter if it's a man or a woman, if they're extremely masculine or they hold that a certain level of masculinity that the person finds attractive, they have no problem being with that person. You get what I'm saying? Hopefully we hear. And same thing with genophilia, but vice versa. What makes this so special? What makes this so special is because we try to make sexuality such a black and white thing and not realizing that it's very much more complex than what we understand and what we know. We have gay men. So with gay men, once again, this is basic level. You have masculine gay men, you have feminine gay men, and you have in between. So with masculine gay men, of course, you have the masculine mannerisms, masculine energy, yada yada yada. They may present themselves more in a masculine way. Then you have the feminine gay men, which they may have the feminine ways of acting. They may present themselves more femininely, act more femininely, dress more femininely, yada yada yada. You get what I'm saying? Hopefully we hear. Alright, so then you have the B, which is bisexual individuals. Now, this what makes bisexual people so unique is because they are attracted to both sexes. Because guess what? You have heterosexual or straight people who are attracted to the opposite sex. Then you have gay people, homosexuals that are attracted to the same sex. But then you have bisexual people that are in between that are attracted to both the same sex and the opposite sex. Now we have the T, transgenders. Now transgenders are individuals who are going through the trans experience. Someone that is born into a certain gender but don't identify or connect with that gender, so they transition into their appropriate gender or whatever. Now you have two different types of transgender individuals. You have trans women and trans men. If a man transitions into a woman, then it's a trans woman. Now if a woman transitions into a man, it's a trans man. Now a little tip and a little key point to help you guys get more of an understanding and basically remember that little concept or whatever. So with trans men, trans women, think of it like this. So if it says trans women, the last word, which is women, put the opposite gender in front of the word. The opposite gender would be a man or men. This is plural. Men. You have men, trans women. So you have men that transition into a woman, and vice versa for trans men. Alright, so that's a little way to try to remember how to, is it trans woman, trans man, what's the right terminology to use, yada yada yada. And you also have pre-op and post-op. Pre-op and post-op is basically the surgery that trans individuals have that finishes their transition if that is their goal. Pre meaning before is basically referring to transgenders before they have the surgery or whatever, or if that's even their goal, because some transgenders will continue to be and will always be pre-op. Post-op, which means after, are referring to transgenders after that particular surgery, if that was their goal. Now we got the first Q, which means questioning. Now questioning is basically it's the process of when someone is exploring their sexuality. So someone that is not sure if they're gay, straight, bisexual, pansexual, all those things, but however they're open and they're also exploring those options to see if they are or are not interested in. Alright, now you have queer. What is queer? Now just so you guys know, queer used to be a derogatory term, but however it has changed into more, I would say has more of a positive energy behind it now. So queer, all this is a way to express fluid identities. So think of it as interchangeable with the LGBT community. So people, instead of people saying the LGBT community, you would say the queer community, because within the gay community we have gays, bisexuals, pansexuals, we have trans individuals. So that's the reason why you would say queer. You basically, you know, wrap up the whole community. So the same way, like, you know, you have the black community, but within the black community you have Jamaicans, Haitians, African Americans, Africans. Think of it like that. It's kind of that same concept. Now you have the I. The I means intersex. Intersex, formerly known as hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite is a derogatory term. They do not use that terminology anymore. What is a hermaphrodite? Hermaphrodite basically is a person that both had the male and female anatomy. But however, the reason why they don't use that terminology anymore is because an individual can be intersex on different levels. Person can be intersex on the physical level, which is where the hermaphrodite word was referring to, was the physical level, where you have both the male and the female anatomy at the same time. But however, you can also be intersex on the other two levels. The other two levels are the chromosomes. So on the appearance wise, on the outside, I may be a man or male, but however, my chromosomes, I may produce more female chromosomes. But however, my outer appearance doesn't reflect that, and vice versa. The other level is the hormone level. Is that an individual like myself, I may be, my appearance may seem to be like a man or male, but the thing is that my hormones, I may produce more estrogen, and hopefully I'm not butchering that word because I'm known to butcher word. Estrogen, which is the female's hormones or whatever. Or vice versa, for a woman, she may be a woman to outer appearance and anatomy, but the thing is that she may produce more testosterone. Now you have the P. What is pansexual? Pansexuals are individuals that have the capability to be attracted to everybody. But with pansexuals, what makes them so unique is with lesbians, they are only attracted to women. With gay men, they're only attracted to men. But with pansexuals, they have the ability to be attracted to trans individuals as well. Now, the thing is that people are going to ask this question. I hear this question quite often. The thing is that I hear people ask this question of, if a trans woman is considered to be a real woman, why aren't lesbians attracted to trans women? And the thing is that trans women are women, and that is something that is being promoted on this channel. If you disagree, hey, I'm sorry, but on this channel, trans women are women, trans men are men. But the thing is that they're a different type of man or different type of women. So some people may not be interested in trans individuals or dating or being sexual trans individuals, and that's okay. But however, with pansexuals, they have the ability to be attracted to those individuals compared to someone that is gay or someone that is bisexual or whatever, you know? A, we have one of the A's. One of the A's means asexual. Asexuals are people who don't really get any type of emotion, any type of feeling. Basically, asexuals are people who don't have no type of sexual feelings when it comes down to either man, woman, male, or female. They don't have those emotions, they don't have those feelings, they don't get into that mood, quote unquote. They don't really get aroused like that. Another A is for allies. What are allies? Allies are basically the straight individuals who stand beside us, who fight with us, who fight for us, and we fight for them. That's basically what the allies are. What is cisgender? Now, cisgender is basically, this has to do with your identity. This has nothing to do with your sexuality. It has something to do with your identity. How do you identify? Basically, if you're not transgender, you are cisgender. Okay, cisgender. The best way to describe and define a cisgender individual is basically if you're not transgender. Transgender is an individual that was assigned a particular gender at birth, but however they don't align, they don't connect, and they don't relate to that particular gender. Cisgender individuals are individuals who have been assigned a gender at birth, they align, they relate, and they connect to that gender and continue to live their life as that particular gender, basically. So you can be gay and be cisgender. You can be a lesbian and be cisgender. But however, you cannot be transgender and cisgender at the same time. Because you have to be one or the other, because if you're not trans, if you're not transitioning, then guess what? You're cisgender. Because cis means the same. Trans means to change. Gender non-conforming. Now, gender non-conforming is basically, like I said before, you have transgenders, you have cisgenders, but gender non-conforming are individuals that don't align or assign or even relate themselves to neither gender. So one of these days they may be fluid. They may dress one day like a boy and then next day dress the next day like a girl. That's basically what that means. They're gender non-conforming, so they're very fluid when it comes to them expressing themselves, the way they may act. They may act like a girl one day, or I'm using quotation marks, act like a girl one day, next day they may act like a boy. And it's like a switch. That's just basically what that means. That is it for my video for today, guys. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack the notification bell so do not miss any more posts to me. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later. Reaction.